Welcome to the Motormouth YouTube channel. I'm Zach.
I'm Andrea.
And we do full-length car reviews each and every week. Halfway, we stop for a segment called Questions, Coffee, and Cars. We've spun it off into its own thing. We're on episode number 35.
Can you believe it?
And how do you play along?
Follow along on Instagram at Motormouth_Andrea. Every Sunday morning at 7 a.m. Pacific time, I put a post out. It's only up for a short time, and once we gather all of our questions, it's deleted, and we start the show.
Time now for Questions, Coffee, and Cars.
Stand by for details on the Toyo Tires contest.
Yes.
Right now, it's your questions from Instagram.
I love you guys. Thank you. It brings me joy seeing your videos. Hello from Alabama.
Nice.
Do you think the U.S. auto manufacturers are diving too deep into the electric car market? Not everyone has the funds to buy an electric car and or retrofit their homes to charge these cars if they get a plug installed professionally. Do you think plug-in hybrids should have been out for a while first to see how people can make the transition? I love me a PHEV.
I love Alabama even more now. That's a great question and comment, and I think you're absolutely spot on. We're all switched to electric. It's going to be so easy. Isn't going to be that easy for some people. You live in an apartment. You don't have access to a plug.
Yep.
And they're very expensive. So are they going to become more price competitive? I don't think so.
No.
And we're starting to see some brands actually starting to add more hybrids in. Speaking of American brands, Ford has said we're going to do more hybrids again.
Yeah, which is great. I mean, moving straight to EVs is not going to work for everyone. Interestingly enough, I'm also a big fan of plug-in hybrids. I think they are kind of the best of both worlds. And you can use a level 1 charger, just a regular outlet to charge your plug-in hybrid. The only issue that I have with plug-in hybrids is they're getting really expensive as well.
Everything is getting expensive. So the great thing is if you live in an apartment and you have a regular wall plug, you can plug in a PHEV. That's the beauty of it.
Yeah, my mom's got a Tucson plug-in hybrid, and we actually said to her, you know what, try it with the level 1. Don't invest in a level 2. She did level 1. It's been great. Hasn't needed it. You guys are amazing. Thank you. I am thinking about the new GLE 350 or GLE 450e, which is the plug-in hybrid. We haven't driven that one yet, but we hear from Mercedes-Benz it is on the way for us to drive. Do you think the new plug-in is worth the money? It's a 2-liter with the plug-in, and it's the same price as the GLE 450. Well, that brings me back to saying plug-in hybrids are expensive.
It has landed in Vancouver. They're miling it up right now, Andrea, and we're going to get it in the next few weeks. So if you're not in a rush, stick around. We're really looking forward to driving that. What's interesting, I just want to talk about the 350 for a moment, which has the turbo 2-liter 4-cylinder. I have driven that base model, and it's actually surprisingly good. So when you take basically the essence of that and make it a plug-in hybrid, I'm hoping for good things.
Yeah, me too. It has 77 kilometers, 48 miles of range. Price, 90,000 Canadian. That's the starting price, and 70,000 in the US. So you definitely have to have the budget. But what I applaud Mercedes-Benz on is the range. You know, you don't have a lot. Remember the BMW X5 plug-in hybrid had very little range.
It's 28 kilometers or something.
Not much.
They upped it to...
Now it's better.
It's
now
a lot
it's better, yeah.
Yeah, but the thing about the Mercedes-Benz, along with the X5 and the Porsche Cayenne, is they're all expensive anyway, right? So if it's already going to be painful to buy it, maybe try the plug-in.
Well, what I suggest with the plug-in hybrid, it works well if you stay within that range most of the time. Obviously, charge it every night. And if you stay within that range, you're rarely going to visit the pumps at all. So I think it's all about how you drive and how much mileage you put on daily.
All right, so we're sitting here in the rain in Vancouver, and then the rain turns to snow, and you're going to be ready if you have a set of the all-new Toyo Celsius 2 all-weather tires. So, Andrea, the difference between all-season tires and all-weather tires is the all-weather tires that we're going to give away for one U.S. viewer and one Canadian viewer, a set each. You don't share them. Is that you can drive on these in the winter because they're rated for winter.
Which is awesome. Now, another thing is, if you win, we will contact you. It will not be done through YouTube. There have been some issues
Spam.
where somebody is saying, you won, and everyone's getting really excited. No, it will be done probably by email with your contact information. So not through a comment on YouTube. It is such a pain. We report these people, but they keep spamming us, and we apologize for that.
All right, so on the full-length car reviews we're doing several with the more information about the Toyo Celsius 2 tire, but the link to enter the contest is in the description below.
Yeah.
So please go there, fill it out. Same thing is if you go on there and it says province, don't worry, below that are states, and if you hit postal code, don't worry, you can put in your zip code. It's just the difference between Canada and the U.S. and one winner in the U.S., one winner in Canada.
Yeah.
Toyo Celsius 2 tires.
Perfect timing. Winter is coming. Love the content. Thank you. Wondering what car manufacturer makes the best ventilated seats. Also, I tend to make the option a must when I consider a car. Should I? I think if you live in a hot climate, I've heard from viewers who say they won't consider a vehicle without ventilated front seats, and I understand that.
I don't really try them because I don't like the sensation of the wind blowing on my backside. I just don't like it. So I don't use them very often. We have them in this car, and they're terrible in this car.
Not great.
I've tried them once. They barely work. So I'm not the person to answer that question.
Well, Lincoln, they're pretty good. I think those are probably in a Lincoln vehicle the best that I have felt. But we've got the Alfa Romeo Tonale this week, the plug-in hybrid. I tried it. Just okay for ventilated front seats.
I always find that the domestic brands do this stuff better than most because, you know, of course, in the United States, you've got states like Florida and New Mexico and California and, you know, Alabama earlier that gets very hot and humid. So Texas is another one. So those brands seem to, they do air conditioning really well, and I would assume ventilated seats, but don't take my word for it.
Well, Lincoln, if you're really interested in getting the best ventilated seats. I love your reviews and always trust you guys. Thank you. Well, we really try and speak the truth, don't we? I bought my Lexus out, but considering purchasing a secondary vehicle, I did have a Cayenne on order, but due to the timing, I canceled it because I was going to take over a year and decided to lower my budget down to $70,000 US. I want an SUV that is reliable and has reasonable maintenance. Comfort is a priority along with decent performance, although I don't want a Japanese nor Korean car, as we already have them in my household. Prefer to get European.
I would say if you can swing it at 75 US, the X5 is hard to beat.
X5 and GLE.
Yeah, and
don't
the GLE.
You think? Both of them are so comfortable. Reliability, well.
Yeah, well, no, the X5 is proven to be very reliable.
Did I pull some numbers here?
No, the X5 is proven to be very reliable. The inline six-cylinder is aces. I think you can get it for that $75,000 price. And, you know, that's the one I would choose. I think it's the actual one to beat as base models in that category.
Yeah, so starting price $62,000 to $65,000 US. The GLE is a little bit more than the starting price of the X5.
Get the X5.
So I just think comfort level, they're both very good. And they both kind of, I would say that the GLE offers a smoother ride.
The other thing is when you get a BMW, you get 3 years of maintenance included. So that's saving you a few bucks every 6 months or so.
Yeah, true. Love the channel. Thank you. Thoughts on a base Cayenne versus a base Range Rover Sport and how they compare on resale value.
So the Range Rover Sport comes with more power and more standard equipment than the Porsche Cayenne. But if I was going to go to Vegas, Andrea, and go all in on a brand for reliability, having owned 5 Porsches, we're sitting in a Cayenne, we're biased, we're upfront about that.
Yeah.
I would go Porsche for reliability, but that new Range Rover is sweet, man, to drive.
Gorgeous. Yeah, I mean, it does so much well. But yes, reliability is a concern for sure with getting a Range Rover. And I also think, even though JD Power gives a better resale value number on the Range Rover than the Cayenne, which I'm really surprised by.
Oh, actually,
I think
just
that
wanted to say one
people-
thing. Is everybody says that Range Rovers are lousy and don't buy one. They have really good resale value.
Yeah, I wouldn't say like really good.
No, but they do. I've looked at them. They hold their value.
They hold everything's holding their value today anyway. But reliability, 77 out of 100 for the Range Rover Sport, 78 out of 100 for resale value, and the Cayenne for reliability better, 79 out of 100, and resale 73 out of 100. I'm a little bit surprised by that number on the Cayenne. I wonder, I would think it would be the opposite, that more people would be concerned about reliability with the Range Rover.
It might just be less for sale. They just sell less Range Rovers
maybe
than Cayenne.
Yeah,
so
so
that's
people
maybe
are willing.
availability. You got to pay if you want one.
Maybe. If you had to pick the 2024 Acura MDX or the 2024 Lexus RX 350h, which would you choose? Any areas you feel one is much better than the other? Primary area focus is luxury, comfort level, some torque, technology, infotainment.
Oh, this is a
First
tough one.
off, they're, one's a 3-row SUV. Oh, I guess.
No, the MDX is 3 rows.
That's what I'm saying, but the RX is no longer.
Oh,
so I think
I was thinking
and one's
TX.
a hybrid.
Oh, I was thinking TX.
No,
Okay, so the
RX.
RX, yeah, one is a 3-row and one isn't. So you've got to
Decide, do you want, like
Yeah.
the MDX is much bigger than the new RX. And then you've got a hybrid. So do you want fuel economy or do you want the mighty V6 in the MDX?
So you have to go in mental check and say,
Yeah.
what's important to me? Do I need the 3rd row? Is it really that important? If it is, then the MDX is the one you're going to want. And if it's all about fuel economy, and then you could say, oh, well, I'm going to go and get the Lexus. So you have to do those mental gymnastics first.
Yeah, and comfort level, I think they're both pretty comfortable. I mean, I didn't sit in the RX and think that the seats were uncomfortable, and same with the MDX. Infotainment, you've got all updated infotainment on the new RX.
Yeah, that's the clear winner over the MDX.
Yeah, I mean, do you want the trackpad or do you want a touch screen with the RX? There's really a lot to unbox here, and I think that it comes down to more what your preference is.
Okay, so get a piece of paper.
What would you do?
Okay, I get a piece of paper and I'd put RX, MDX, and I would go through all the reasons why I want one or the other. You're going to be, the first easy one is, are you motivated by fuel? Then you're going to get the Lexus. Or if you're motivated by space, you're going to get the MDX.
Yeah.
So do those mental gymnastics or write it down first.
And do you like a button shifter or do you like a traditional shifter? They're very different. Very different.
That's what makes the world go round, Andrea. People like different.
They like different.
That's why you like me. I'm a little different.
Yeah, a little different. My brother is looking for a 3-row SUV that's 3 to 4 years old for his brood and wanted to know what you would recommend for reliability and cost of ownership.
Get a Highlander.
Yeah, that's what I say.
Highlander,
3
if
to
you can
4
get-
years old.
If you can get a Highlander hybrid, even better.
Yeah.
If you can, I'm just trying to remember when it came out. So if you get a 4-year-old Highlander hybrid, that'll be the 6-cylinder hybrid.
Yes.
And it wasn't fun to drive, but it was good on gas.
Yes.
And they hold their value. But
They hold
yeah.
their value. Okay, I'm going to throw a few others, okay? Because I did a little research.
Shocking.
And you're talking about reliability. Okay, you ready? Mm-hmm. Dodge Durango.
Oh,
Excellent for
You just did that to
reliability.
get me all excited,
See?
hon. I love the Dodge Durango. Has incredible reliability.
Yeah.
Nobody believes me.
No.
They think I'm talking out my ass. But you know what? I love me a Durango.
Okay, Lexus RX L. Small 3rd row.
Yeah, terrible. Don't get that.
But
No.
very reliable.
Yeah, it's
what
very
I
reliable.
didn't like about the RXL is that because it is an older model, things like the heated seats and the heated steering wheel, they only get lukewarm.
And it has
but
the trackpad.
reliable.
And it has the stupid old trackpad.
It has the old trackpad. Toyota Sequoia.
Too hard on gas.
Older ones.
Way too hard on
and
gas.
the Nissan Armada.
Way too hard
He
on
didn't
gas.
say anything. He just said about reliability. He didn't say anything about gas. So those ones are very reliable. Even that Nissan Armada. You know, if you were to get a 3 or 4 year old vehicle.
Get a, as we call it in our house, get a Dodge Badongo.
Yeah, I mean, that is spacious. It's reliable.
Handles really
You
well.
can count on it. How important is it to have features like lane keep assist, blind spot, cruise control, etc. while choosing the trim? Because not a lot of manufacturers give them a standard on base models and comes with fully loaded top trim. I just want to add to that many are offering it on the lower trims now, maybe one up from the base, but some have it as standard.
So forward collision warning and autonomous braking pretty much is standard on most trims these days. I always say to people, how long have you been driving? I've been driving a while. Andrew's been driving a while. Have we lived without all of these nanny aids for all of these years and decades? Yes. Is it a nice thing to have?
Yes.
Yes. Do you need it? No. So if you can't afford it and you know how to drive, don't rely on the nannies. Just use your brains, use your eyeballs are the two most important things right here. These are the biggest safety features you have are your eyes.
Now, on the other side of that, some people love these features and it's wonderful that they're being offered. So I suggest if these are really important to you, go with a brand that offers them as standard equipment or one up from the base model. And there are a lot that do. Here's the thing, our kids just learned to drive and they were not allowed to use any of these. They had to always do shoulder checks for everything.
To get their license,
Yeah. So there you go.
But we did get a car that does have forward collision and autonomous braking.
We did because he is a new driver. Any new hybrids that you're aware of coming to the U.S. for 2024? If so, will any of them be affordable? Well, we don't know about affordability because they haven't, they're new and we don't know what the pricing is. But we know that the CX-70 by Mazda is bringing a plug-in hybrid, and Mazda also says the CX-50 hybrid.
Yeah. Well,
right?
It's so hard
to... What about a new Camry?
Well, someone just put a message on YouTube saying, is it going to be shown at the LA Auto Show?
Yeah.
And we said, that's our speculation. We have nothing official.
No.
But yes, a Camry's way overdue. My guess is if Camry's going to be shown at the LA Auto Show, it'll be base hybrid. The four-cylinder hybrid will be the de facto engine.
Yes.
And it's the one to buy anyway. So there you go. Okay, this is the last question.
Okay, last one. Also, I just
I'm the keeper of the clocks.
Yes, I also want to say Santa Fe hybrid is coming, the new one, and also Land Cruiser. Hello, you two. Thanks for all the great content. Thank you. It helps me when purchasing a new vehicle. I was wondering if you had a top pick for subcompact SUV so far this year.
Top pick for subcompact
We're doing
SUV.
top fives. Top fives are coming up.
Well, I think you got to put the Seltos and the Kona in there, as the cousins from Korea are always hard to beat.
You didn't add about our top five.
Oh, the top fives are coming. Oh, yeah,
Zach would get excited about that and go, our top five.
No, it's a lot of work. We got to edit them and record them. But anyway, between basically November till the end of the year, you're going to see a lot of top fives, subcompact, compact, the luxury versions. We're going to do a whole bunch of videos. Our top 10 of the year comes out on Christmas Day.
Yep.
But I would say it depends on what you're motivated by in the subcompact SUV. If you're motivated by fuel economy and just a good all-rounder, the Corolla Cross Hybrid's pretty hard to beat.
And if you're looking for value with all of those extra features, the Kia Seltos is tough to beat.
Yeah, that has the most features.
It does.
And if you want the most space, the Taos is very big.
Taos is very good, yeah.
So there's some to start with.
HRV is big too.
HRV, but what can you get?
Yeah.
That's the thing.
And your price point, right? Your budget. Crosstrek is great. We're going to the Drive event in Arizona in December to drive the Crosstrek Wilderness. Looking forward to that. And that's it. That's the show.
All right. If you want to get a question in, follow Andrea at Motormouth_Andrea. She puts a post out on Sunday morning, and then we collect all the questions and record them here in the car and put them out later. Don't forget, click the link below for the Toyo Tires Celsius 2 all-weather tire giveaway.
Yeah, for sure. And we'll see you next time.